Ready for dictation? Start. Having heard learned counsel for the parties and perusing the record with their able assistance, this court is of the considered opinion that the argument raised by learned counsels for the parties are of fundamental nature which has to be decided and tested on the anvil of the statutory provisions. The present Motor Vehicles Act 1988 bracketed herein after referred to as the new act replaced the earlier Motor Vehicles Act 1939 bracketed herein after referred to as the old act. Both the acts contained provisions for insurance of motor vehicles for the purpose of payment of compensations to the injured or dependents of the person who dies in a motor vehicle accident. Hence, it shall be of immense significance to compare and analyze the provisions of the old act and of the new act governing the insurance of the motor vehicles and liability of the insurance company to understand the evolution of law on this point. Para. Still further, the net question involved in the present case is as to whether a passenger traveling in a private passenger car is entitled to compensation in case of injury or death arising out of accident involving no other vehicle. Conversely, the proposition is not being examined in this case from the perspective of a passenger traveling in a goods vehicle. Under the old act, the provision was contained in section 95 of the act, and in the new act the same are contained in section 147 and 149 of the act. It is opposite to reproduce the same here. Section 95 of the old act in bracket Motor Vehicles Act 1939 requirements of policies and limits of liability. Para. In order to comply with the requirements of this chapter, a policy of insurance must be a policy which is issued by a person who is an authorized insurer or by a cooperative society allowed under section 108 to transact the business of an insurer and insures the person or classes of persons specified in the policy to the extent specified in the policy to the extent specified in subsection bracketed 2 against any liability which may be incurred by him in respect of the death of or bodily injury to any person or damage to any property of a third party caused by or arising out of the use of vehicle in a public place against the death of or bodily injury to any passenger of a public service vehicle caused by or arising out of the use of the vehicle in a public place. Stop.